What is cracking, guys? I'm very excited for today's episode because today I'm riding to the Harley Davidson dealership to get a torque cam installed on my Softail street bob. But before I do that, I'm just going to take these smoke lenses off and change out my globes for orange ones. When I originally changed the orange lenses for the smoke ones, I never changed out the globes, so I got to do that. You beauty. Alrighty, so let's talk a bit about the cam that I've chosen. So I've gone with the Scream Eagle torque cam, and I'll talk about the reasons why I went with it over, say, the Scream Eagle power cam. So the main reason why I went with the Screaming Eagle cam for starters is because it doesn't void your warranty. Whereas if I went with any other cam and something went wrong with the engine, then my warranty wouldn't cover me. So that's the reason why I went with the Screaming Eagle cam. But talking about why I went with the torque cam over, say, the power cam is because of the type of riding I do. So I live out here in the country, in the bush, and I don't get up to extremely high speeds, so I'm not up in my high RPM range. And the reason for that is because these roads are sketchy as hell out here in the bush. You got kangaroos, wombats, rabbits, potholes, you name it. There's everything out here on these roads. And for that reason, that I don't spend a lot of my riding in the high RPM range is the reason why I didn't go with the power cam. I like getting to speed quick, and that's what the torque cam's for. It's mainly suited for low range to mid-range RPM, whereas the power cam's suited for mid-range to high range RPM. I'll throw up a graph just showing you the differences in acceleration between the torque cam and the power cam. So as you can see, the power cam is much more suited for the mid to high end RPM, whereas the torque cam is suited for the low to mid-range RPM. And whilst I'm talking graphs and numbers, I'll just talk about some figures which the DynoJet website released on the Milwaukee 8 107 engine on a dyno. So they found that the stock 107 engine was running at around 77 horsepower, and when you upgrade that stock engine to a stage 1, being an aftermarket air cleaner, an aftermarket exhaust and a tuner, the bike gets up to around 85 horsepower. And when you go to a stage 2 torque cam, your horsepower goes up to 99 horsepower and your torque sits around 109 foot-pounds of torque. Whereas if you go with a power cam, your horsepower is a little higher. It sits at 103 horsepower, whereas your torque sits at 108 foot-pounds of torque. So there's not a massive difference in numbers between the torque cam and the power cam, but the main difference is where your bike builds the power in the rev range. So as I said, I prefer my power in the low to mid range, and that's why I've gone with the torque cam over the power cam. So moving on, whilst I'm riding the bike, I guess I should do a quick review of the shorty levers and the flip mirrors. And I'll say I absolutely love the shorty levers, and if you see my channel, you would have seen that I did a previous DIY video on how to make shorty levers with the stock levers, and that's simply just by cutting them down. And I ended up getting my stock levers powder coated after I cut them down. But I gotta say, not only is it for styling, it's a lot to do with comfort. So when I use my clutch and my brake lever, I use 3 fingers, and when I pull my clutch in, my pinky finger remains on the grip. And I found that with the stock clutch length, when I pull the clutch lever in, the end of the clutch lever would hit and squish my pinky because I was using 3 fingers. and that wasn't comfortable at all. That was quite annoying. So I gotta say, it is so much more comfortable when I pull my clutch lever in and the end of the lever isn't hitting my pinky. So not only is it for styling, it's also for comfort. So I've got to say, the shorty levers are a tick in my book. So moving on to the flip mirrors, the main reason why I flipped them was because of the styling, the aesthetics. I think they look much better flipped, whereas when they were in the stock position, being the upright position, I didn't think they looked that great. And the main reason for that is because I've got quite a high rise with my bars. These bars sit at a height of 13 inches, whereas the stock rise I think is around 11 inches. So I've got the 10-inch bunking risers and the CR high bend bars, and I think the mirrors in the stock position with bars of this rise looks a little bit daggy, so I decided to flip them. And for my overall height, being 5 foot 9 inches tall, and my reach and the rise height of these bars, it's absolutely perfect for these mirrors being flipped. As you can see, when I look into my mirrors, my elbows aren't in the way at all. Whereas I think if you're a little bit taller or you had a longer reach than me, your elbows will be tucked down a bit like that. And as you can see, you can't really see out of the mirrors. So because my riding position's more of an upright position, where my arms are just below shoulder height, I can see out of these mirrors perfectly when they're flipped, so there's no obstruction at all. So overall, that's another tick with the mirrors being flipped. But anyway, you've heard me gibber on enough, so let's fast forward to when I'm at the Harley dealership, getting the torque cam put in this thing. Oh, someone's getting a Christmas present. She's all wrapped up. Alrighty, when I see this next, it will be a beast. So I've already picked my Harley up from the dealership, and when I've started it up, I noticed that there's a little more engine noise coming from the valve train. Sounds like a loud tapping, like a sewing machine. I don't know if you can hear that loud knocking slash ticking noise. I don't know if you can hear the ticking, just me sitting here, but it sounds quite loud. So overall that cost me $1,380 for the install, the tune with the tuner I already had, and the cam kit. So overall that's not too bad. I don't know if it's the going rate at other dealerships, but I'm quite happy to pay that if the bike performs. The bloke said just wait till the bike gets warmed up, don't go too ham on it straight away. Let everything sort of bed in. So I'm just gonna bed it in this video. I'm not really gonna give it a rip, but in my next video I'm gonna do a pretty detailed review on it and let you know what I think of the torque cam. But as I was saying straight off the bat, that ticking noise is quite loud. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's to be expected with adjustable push rods, maybe they just sound a bit louder. Alright guys, so the rest of the ride wasn't that exciting. I didn't get the chance to test out the torque cam because I was a little worried with that engine noise and that ticking. The reason why I rode the bike all the way home and didn't take it to the Harley dealership is because when I picked the bike up, the Harley dealership was closing and the blokes had already got in their car and buggered off by the time I got to the bike and started it up. The following day when I got home, I contacted Harley and I can't fault their customer service. They did a 3-hour round trip to come pick my bike up and take it back to the workshop. So Harley Davidson advised me that it was simply the spark plug cap, which was loose on top of the spark plug, and that ticking noise I could hear was arcing of the plug and the top of the cap. I was a little skeptical about being told that it was arcing and not any noise coming from the valve train, but hey, I'm not one of the professionals, I'm not a mechanic, I'm just a bloke who likes turning a wrench on my bike. So I'm not going to criticise them and say they're wrong. The customer service, as I said, was above and beyond, and as long as the bike comes back and it's not making that horrible noise and it's running right, I'm going to be happy. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.